Alright, so we have found our brand new map that details different locations around the world that will help us in finding the Warhorn. As you can see when we zoom in on the map here, it is right across a river, so I am going to head there and we will get this started. My village is right there, right in front of it, so I can just transport straight to my village. So here we go. Yeah, here's my little village. So we are going to go ahead and head straight in. Alright, here we are. So, to start this off, we're going to approach here. Necklace. Ian, remember to take this necklace. It works just like I showed you last time. Put it on and activate it. So this is very interesting. This introduces us to Ian. So we take the necklace and we equip it. Okay. So first what we're going to do is walk through the door here to the left of the entrance and read what's on the table. Equipment. If you're reading this note, it means you have found it. I left a few items in a chest on the ceiling. Use the necklace to get it, but if you don't find it, look around this note and it should be on a stone table near some candles. Oops. Okay, so we do have the necklace, and if you see we have some spiders on the ground. And if we look up, we see that we have some spiders on the ceiling. So naturally what we're going to do is we're going to activate the necklace with G. And now we are on the ceiling. So here is a chest that we can lockpick. He mentioned something about a chest being on the ceiling. I assume this is that chest that the note refers to. So there is some equipment in here. I'm gonna just pick up these arrows. I don't think I'm gonna need them. I already have metal pants that can be made. Not gonna pick any of this up. Alright, so that introduces you to the mechanic of the necklace. Now we're going to flip back around and jump through our little hole and activate this again. I am going to open this chest. It is a special chest, meaning that it contains magic. It can contain magic items. So here we have another scroll, The Journey. I started to enjoy the journey. True, I have visited only 2 places, but so far it's very exciting and fun. I only have 2 notes, but it's always something. I wonder what will come next. So, of course, this references the journey that we are on to find the Warhorn. And this guy, whoever wrote this, I'll have to go more in depth about the signature. Whoever wrote this has visited 2 of the locations that we need to visit and has found 2 notes. Whereas we have found 1 note from the very first dungeon we visited, and I assume that maybe the note was here? Or here? Interesting, I never noticed that before. So, question is, are there now notes missing? So let's flip around. We're now on the ceiling, and all it is books, there's nothing here. So we're gonna run back through the door and head down the tunnel. The trick to the tunnel is to jump just straight down and flip it twice so that you don't take fall damage. And here we are in a new room. And these are spikes, thankfully, that were broken on the floor, or else we probably would have died. And we're gonna head through the open doorway here into the first chamber, the first real chamber of the puzzle. Now, if we climb up here, we see a few statues, and we see that if we flip upside down again, we can continue our journey through this open door. Pick up all the coins if you feel like. And you can flip upside down to loot. Actually, I will because there's a coin purse. I'm gonna go ahead and loot the coin purse really quickly. And if you flip upside down again, to get back to where we were. You can continue on through the opposite door. And continue on into this room with largely nothing on the floor but all things on the ceiling, including a hole. So feel free to loot everything, but I'm just going to go ahead and drop through the hole. So here we are in a small dormitory. Plenty of chests to loot if you brought lockpicks. We're going to head through the doors, and here you see we are in a multi-tiered room. If you flip upside down one time, you are in a similar area. And if you walk through the door when you flip, you will enter this room. And I believe this can be gotten through by flipping. You kind of have to flip multiple times until you can see, jump. There we go, we got in. Okay. You just flip back and forth pretty much until you fall to the distance of the hole, and then you can jump in and continue things. There are a few things you can loot here. I will take the lockpicks and the coin bag. Lots of things that you can loot. And then you will notice in the middle there's another hole you can jump down. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to do that so I don't take fall damage. Alright, so back to a new area. Walk through the door. And now we have to start being careful because there will be spikes. As always, you can feel free to loot everything here. But take note of the spikes. Obviously, if you flip into spikes, you're gonna die. So I am going to flip everything. And we're gonna try to go through the door, which we can. We notice we are in a room with nothing on either ceiling or floor. So for now, that's not going to help us much. But here we are. You will see if we fall, there are spikes. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that upside down again. And yes, if we look up, spikes. Now, if we run to the end here, we see that we can drop down. And there's even a little arrow that says we can drop down. You can loot this, you can flip back and forth and loot this, as well as try and walk across the spikes, which I don't recommend. So I'm just going to drop down. And now we pass these spikes. And now we flip. Whoops, onto some staircases. Just going to put that out again. So the staircases are a little bit tricky. Take some trial and error to figure out what you have to do. Oops. I might have just unintentionally done what we were supposed to do by flipping while jumping at the same time. And now this says to go up. Interesting. So we're gonna flip this around again. And we find that we are on a platform. And there is a red chest you can loot here, which of course contains magic items like crystals. And now we are back to the stairs. So what you're going to want to do is jump across the spikes, flipping around before you can take fall damage, and you'll find yourself in a long, narrow room at the bottom. Of course, more things you can loot. Make your way through this door. And we're back at some stairs. Oh, there's a wolf in here? That's a little weird. Alright, so if you go up the stairs, you find yourself able to drop down, which you don't want to do, or walk across the plank, which we are going to do. And as you see, there are a few rooms you could head into. No reason to flip in that one. For the sake of this, we're just going to continue moving because we have arrived at the end. So I'm going to drop down right here, and we're going to see what this note has to say for us. It's another weird note. So we have gotten the next part of the puzzle, and also we see that this is an etching of something that's going to become very important later on in the game. So just take note of that. If you notice, there are the 9 symbols, actually 8 with 1 in the middle. Well, no, it is all 9. There's 4 on each side and then the very important one on the top. So if you remember that, it will serve you well later. And we get the red shoes, which right now have the same durability as my crown shoes. So that was the gravity puzzle. It takes a little bit of trial and error, as I said. Hopefully what I did can help you get through it. So I trust that helps, and in the next walkthrough we're going to go ahead and tackle another puzzle to try and find the Warhorn. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you guys in the next one.